Yeah, okay. This is yellow book. Here book. Pigeon. Dala damara chibe da ino bara chibe ke tarwa dam tam chi jambe kwartu jubara cheba tam chi je zo chebe ma nam ka tam nyambe sem chen tam ji de wa tam de dong ar tam chi nyor de la na me bara yang ta bara ye zo be chang ju ren bo che to ba cha.
All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be separate from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment.
Ti che de sam ma je je var tu lung ma ye song ge wa la go ma shi var tu lung ma ye song ge wa la go a tu de re ne song de nyu ma song a zam je
For that purpose, until I attain Buddhahood, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Until death, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. From today until this time tomorrow, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue.
Sanje chodan soje chonan la chancho vatu dane japsun che da ke jin so jin be zo nam che andro la penje sanje droba.
Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings.
Nam ka dan nyambe sem chen tam je de wa dan de ve yu dan de ba ra ju je do ma dan ar ke ju dan je wa ra ju je do ma me ve de wa dan me je ju je nian sha dan ni dan che ve dan yu la ne ba ra ju je.
May all mothers and beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Cha te wa dan chu jin ya wa dan je su yin ra shen zorwa ye gewa jungzi dake je zaba tam je zo jang jo je mo.
Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offering, confession, rejoicing, requesting, and praying, dedicate it for the complete awakening of all beings.
The English.
Namo, to the Guru, the utter purity of all appearance and existence. I offer all appearance and existence arisen from the primordial ground. I supplicate you, may the three realms be completely liberated. Please grant blessings to empty samsara from its depths. Lord, with 5 omniscient wisdoms, crown ornament, kind one with loving nature, precious protector of beings, heart of all Buddhas, inexpressible by words or thought, I supplicate you from the core of my mind, bless me from within the state of Dharmata. Bless me to realize this mind, primordially pure and unborn, as the unfathomable Dharmakaya.
Dorje Chanchen Dene Naro Dan Marba Mela Choje Gambo Ba Pamo Chuba Jawan Jeon Ba Gaje Lama Nala Zorwan De Azene Yarbo Sajun Changzhou Samjie Duzhe Menlane Zhouwa Gunla Penba Ziba Ye Bandian Adi Shalab Zo Da Jian Tene Changzhou Mato Hua Juba Hong Jie Nian Nen Tu Shou Me Chang Chuo San Chuan Zhong Wan Tang Chang Chuo San Jie Xian Dong Jie Ba Xiu Jie Wa Gun De Yang Da La Ma Tang Zhe Mi Shu Jie Be La Long Ju Jing Sa Tang Lam Jie Yong Tian Rab Zo Ne Do Jie Chang Ke Kong Kuan Nyo To Xiu.
Great Vajradhara, Tilopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Dharma Lord Gampopa, Pagmo Drupa, and Lord Gongpa, I pray to all the Kagyu Lamas. From his guru, King Serlingpa, he received the nectar medicine of bodhicitta and brought benefit to all sentient beings. I pray to glorious Atisha. From now until I attain enlightenment, may I also practice the 3 precious lineages, and through this may I perfect sublime bodhicitta and bring benefit to others with my bodhicitta. In all my lives, may I never be separated from the perfect Guru. May I enjoy the glory of the Dharma, perfect the qualities of the bhumis and paths, and quickly attain the state of Vajradhara.
This Vajrayogini text, page 2. English. Page 2.
Page 2. In a single instant I vividly transform into the enlightened body of exalted Vajrayogini.
Om Kanda Rohe Hong Pe Om Sabhava Svabhava Shuddham.
From within the state of emptiness, a top wind fire and a hearth of skulls is a skull cup bearing qualities, red inside with white exterior. Therein from Ubirashu and Ma arise the five ambrosial nectars. From Nagokuha and Ta appear 5 meats which they mark, and the wind stirs, fanning the flames which intensify, causing the contents to melt and boil. From the 3 syllables light rays stream, drawing in divine wisdom nectar. Through this Samaya and wisdom merge, and the nectar becomes a vasi. Om Ahong, Om Ahong, Om Ahong.
Om Kandaro He Hum Pe Om Svabhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Svabhava Shuddha.
From within the state of emptiness appear the skulls with a hung inside. From that manifest water to drink, bathing water, flowers, and incense, glowing light, fragrant perfumes, and food, symbols, and the like, they all amass as Samanta Bhadra's offering clouds, filling up the threefold universe. Vajrayogini and the host of gathered Dakinis express delight. The energy of the offering clouds is beyond the scope of intellect.
Om Benza Argam Ahu Om Benzara Badin Ahu Om Benzara Bube Ahu Om Benzara Dube Ahu Om Benzara Aluge Ahu Om Benzara Gende Ahu Om Benzara Nevede Ahu Om Benzara
From within the state of emptiness, a top wind fire and a hearth of skulls is a skull cup bearing qualities, red inside with white exterior. Therein from Ubirashu and Ma arise the 5 ambrosial nectars. From Nagokuha and Ta appear 5 meats which they mark, and the wind stirs, fanning the flames which intensify, causing the contents to melt and boil. From the 3 syllables light rays stream, drawing in divine wisdom nectar. Through this Samaya and wisdom merge, and the nectar becomes a vessel.
Om ka 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 he ka he sarvaya saraja sabuddha beda beshaza omada amarandra kanda kinaya adaya moya mambalenge hanandu samaya raja Mama sarva sede me vaya zaza yade ma yade ga buzata bervata zegrada amma dega mada mama sarva sesu kan beshuda Amen. Sarvaya Chara Sabuddha Da Beda Beshaza Mata Maranda Kanda Yaya Daya Moya Mamba Lindu Hanandu Yara Cha Chandu Mama Sarva Siddhi Nevaya Yade Ban Yade Kanjam Buzata Devata Zigrata Mati Jamada Mama Sarva Kartaya Sisukam Bishudaya Sahaya Kabhavandu
Om spirits guarding the directions and local protectors, gods and nagas, spirits bringing harm and rakshasas, phantoms and those beings who feed on flesh, hungry ghosts and crazy making ones, forces who inflict forgetfulness, and swarms of mamos and dakinis. Take this torma as a proper gift, and assist us yogins in our aim to accomplish great awakening, pacify all adverse conditions, along with danger and injury. Help us to successfully fulfill the
I guess it's just us now. This is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, nice meeting.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to do. Maybe we could continue the practice until they come back online.
Yes, so
Yeah. Here they are.
okay. Enjoy.
With the intention to free all beings, I ever and always seek refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, until enlightenment manifests. With the intention to free all beings, I ever and always seek refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, until enlightenment manifests. With the intention to free all beings, I ever and always seek refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, until enlightenment manifests. Through wisdom, with love and compassion, for the sake of sentient one's welfare, in the presence of the Buddhas here, I dedicate myself to achieve thoroughly perfected Buddhahood. Through wisdom, with love and compassion, for the sake of sentient one's welfare, in the presence of the Buddhas here, I dedicate myself to achieve thoroughly perfected Buddhahood through wisdom with love and compassion for the sake of sentient one's welfare. In the presence of the Buddhas here, I dedicate myself to achieve thoroughly perfected Buddhahood. From the very beginning, my own body, speech, and mind have always been the naturally pure true essence of Vajrayogini herself. Likewise, the five aggregates are none other than the five pure Buddha families, and the five elements purified are the five mothers, such as Tongje-ma, the fully pure spheres of perception are male and female bodhisattvas, the aggregates, elements, and the perception spheres are pure from the start.
Om Drajre Da Pare Shuddha Sarva Sate Da Pare Shuddha.
Above my crown sits Vajrasattva, on a moon cushion and lotus seat. His complexion like the autumn moon, draped in silks and strewn with precious jewels, crossed his hands, hold a Vajra and bell, and at his heart on a moon is hung from the 100 syllable mantra. Light rays stream out to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 10 directions, gathering the light of their compassion and absorbing back bright nectar flows from the mantra, entering my crown, cleansing all the defilements and veils. Thus recite the 100 syllables.
Om Yeren Benza Heruga Samaya Manu Balaya Benza Heruga No Paradi Chandre Dome Baba Sudokayo Me Baba Anurato Me Baba Subokayo Me Baba Sarva Siddhi Me Parayasa Sarva Karma Sutsa Me Zetam Ye Guru Hong Ha 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 Banga Me Sarva Gama Me Heruga Gavana Samaya Sadhu Benza Om Benza Heruga Samaya Anubalaya Benza Heruga Dino Badi Chandre Do Me Baba Asudokayo Me Baba Anurato Me Baba Subhakayo me baba sarva sede me brayeza sarva ganmazuza me Banga me sarva heruga Manze heruga Vama sama Sadhu Pie Wang Yeren Banza heruga Ayam Manubalayam Banza heruga Heruga Sudukayo me baba, Anurado me baba, Arvasidi me barayeza sarva karma susami, Zedam hiyam guru ha ha ha. Banza heruga mame heruga maha asamaya sedo ahumpi.
From Vajra's own lips he says, your defilements and obscurations have been purified, and he becomes white light, which then dissolves into me. My own nature vividly appears as exalted Vajrayogini. At my heart from the seed syllable emerge light rays radiating out, summoning Vajrayogini and all the Kagulamas and Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, all their retinue, come gather before me in the sky. Lama with form like a precious jewel, through your kindness arises great bliss. In a single instant you shine forth, Vajra holder, at your feet I bow. Great heroic splendorous Heruka, utterly pure almighty Vajra, and to you Vajra Varahi of all yearning great passions I bow down. Once again from the seed syllable at my heart goddesses issue forth, offering gifts to the mandala.
Om Sarvada Tangata Sapare Vare Argam Bade Jasoha. Om Sarvada Tangata Sapare Vare Bade Jasoha. Om Sarvada Pushpe Bharde Jaso Om Sarva Dada Gada Sabare Vare Duvaya Bharde Jaso Om Sarva Dada Gada Sabare Vare Aloge Bharde Jaso Om Sarva Dada Gada Sabare Vare Gende Bharde Jaso Om Sarva Dada Gada Sabare Vare Nevede Bharde Jaso Om Sarva Dada Gada Sabare Vare Shabare Om Benze Armeda Zane Gandra Rasa Sabarane Samaye Om Benze Gata Anurangana Benzara Subhava Emago
To the three jewels I go for refuge and confess each negativity, along with every unwholesome deed. I rejoice in the virtues of beings and hold steadfast the awakened mind of Buddhahood, and until I reach enlightenment I do take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly, and for the welfare of others and myself I generate awakened mind, and by way of this rousal of sublime awakened mind I now welcome all sentient beings and engage in beautiful conduct, supreme actions of bodhisattvas, for the sake of benefiting beings. May I reach the state of Buddhahood. To the three jewels I go for refuge and confess each negativity, along with every unwholesome deed. I rejoice in the virtues of beings and hold steadfast the awakened mind of Buddhahood, and until I reach enlightenment I do take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly, and for the welfare of others and myself I generate awakened mind, and by way of this rousal of sublime awakened mind I now welcome all sentient beings and engage in beautiful conduct, supreme actions of bodhisattvas, for the sake of benefiting beings. May I reach the state of Buddhahood. To the three jewels I go for refuge, and confess each negativity, along with every unwholesome deed. I rejoice in the virtues of beings, and hold steadfast the awakened mind of Buddhahood, and until I reach enlightenment, I do take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly, and for the welfare of others and myself, I generate awakened mind, and by way of this rousal of sublime awakened mind, I now welcome all sentient beings and engage in beautiful conduct, supreme actions of bodhisattvas, for the sake of benefiting beings. May I reach the state of Buddhahood. From the palace of reunions, great bliss free of constructs, to you, bliss con one Vajradhara, I deeply pray. From the pure palace of non-duality's expanse, to you, the son of all victors, Tilopa, I pray. From the palace of rainbow-like vivid emptiness, to you, the supreme scholar, Naropa, I deeply pray. From the pure palace of my form as a deity, to you, the true gurus of the union transmission, and to you, all root and lineage lamas, I pray. Please bless me to realize mind as a Dharmakaya, from the palace that quells misfortune and obstacles. To you, the oceans of Dharma protectors, I pray. Pacify in all directions negativity and hindrances, granting common and supreme cities. The visualized field of accumulation dissolves into me. Love is the intent to benefit others. Compassion is the wish to overcome their pain. Joy is feeling fulfilled by their happiness. Equanimity is equal rising beings. Love is the intent to benefit others. Compassion is the wish to overcome their pain. And joy is feeling fulfilled by their happiness. Equanimity is equalizing beings. Love is the intent to benefit others. Compassion is the wish to overcome their pain. Joy is feeling fulfilled by their happiness. Equanimity is equalizing beings.
Om
Svabhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma
Svabhava Shuddha Om Yoga Shuddha Sarva Dharma Yoga Om Yoga Shuddha Sarva Dharma Yoga Shuddha.
Through reciting these mantras, all phenomena subsumed within, subject, objects, dualistic grasping, become transformed into emptiness. By reciting Hom Hom from within that state, comes a Vajra ground fence, tent and canopy, webs of arrows, and outside the scope of that, wisdom flames blaze, and in this protective sphere, from A arises a Dharmodaya with its root pointing downward and a base on top. Outside it is blue and inside it is red. In the center of its vast expansive base, from the letter palm a lotus manifests, of multiple colors, and from A appears a full moon, and from Ra manifests a sun. Above flattened bomb chin appears my own mind, as a red bomb letter emanating light. From that appears a Vajra handled curved knife, with a bomb at its hub, streaming forth with light, sending out offerings to the exalted ones, and cleansing defilements for all sentient beings, placing them in the state of the Vajra Queen. The light gathers back, and I fully transform, like silk suddenly hoisted into the sky, becoming the form of Vajrayogini, red in color, clear yet empty. I'm ablaze with the splendor of 100,000 sons. My main face of passion and wrath has 3 eyes, bearing fangs, and on my right above my ear is a grunting sow face, and I am adorned with a 5-skull crown, while half my hair is loose. I bear a necklace of 50 severed heads, 5 bone ornaments, and in my right hand is a curved knife, and in my left I am holding a skull cup filled with blood, while a trident rests in the crook of my arm, pointing toward the sky, reveling in blood with a youth of 16 years. My breasts are plump, and my right leg is bent up, with the left extended in gestures of dance, gaining victory in space over the 3 realms. I dwell at the center of masses of fire that have come blazing forth from my own body. At my navel from Om and Bam is red Varahi. At my heart from Hang and Yom is a blue Yamini. At my throat from Rim and Mom is the white Mohini. At my forehead from Rim yellow Samjalini. And at the crown with Hong a green Samdrasini. On my limbs with Pepit are the smoky Chandikas. All have 1 face, 2 hands, and a curved knife in the right. In their left a blood skull cup, and they wear crowns of skulls, garlands of fresh heads, and they are marked with the 5 seals. With 3 eyes their hair flows free, with tridents on their arms, right legs bent and left outstretched as they abide in dance. In my secret place, as I am Vajrayogini, is a red Dharmodaya with 3 in the center, streaming light out in directions to all the victors, and their hosts inviting all the Vajrayogini.
Banzara Sama. Om Benza Vara He Sabare Vare Argan Bade Bube Dube Algen Gende Nevede Shadara.
From all of their bodies, limitless forms emanate, dissolving into my crown, and this then generates energy and power in my body. Then from there, speech streams red ali kali absorbed into my throat, generating energy and power in my speech. From their hearts a stream of bodhicitta then descends, entering my heart, and bliss emptiness arises. Yogini then dissolves into me, and we're none do.
Yoga Shuddha Sarvada Yoga Shuddha.
Again from the seed syllable at my heart light rays stream out, invoking the deities of the five Buddha families who grant empowerment.
Om Benze Gula Sabare Vare Argam Bade Bube Bube Alogengende Nevede Shadava. Om Sarvada Jagata Ambikizada
by our having supplicated thus, the empowerment deities say, just as when the Tuscan ones are born, the ablution rite is requested. With this our divine water we too in the same way shall also wash you. Om Sarvata Gata Ambikegada Samaya Thus empowerment is now bestowed. My body is filled, and defilements are purified. The excess water overflows at my crown, becoming the crown ornament of Akshobhya. Then the empowerment deities dissolve and are absorbed into me. I now offer clouds of offerings manifested by the goddesses, arisen from my heart's level.
Om Sarvata Gata Sanzavarahe Sabare Vare Argam Badinda Soha. Om Sarvata Gata Banzavarahe Sabare vare badin bardin zasova Avam sarvada dhangadam banzavaraye Sabare vare bube bardin zasova Sarvada Tangadam Banzavarahe Sabare Vare Duvan Vardenza Soha Sarvada Tangadam Banzavarahe Sabare Vare Aloge Sova Om Sarvada Gadam Banzavara Sabare Varengende Barneza Sova Om Sarvada Gadam Banzavara Nevare Sova Om Sarvada Dangadam Banzavaraye Sabare Vare Om Benzara Vene Hum Hum Pi Om Benzara Wanshi Hum Hum Pi Om Benzara Medange Hum Hum Pi Om Benzara Murhanze Hum Hum Pi Om Benzara Hasi Hum Hum Pi Om Benzara Lasi Hum Hum Pi Om Benzara Gende Hum Hum Pi Om Benzara Nirde Hum Hum Pi Om Benzara Bube Hum Hum Pi Om Benzara Dube Hum Hum Pi Om Benzara Debe Hum Hum Pi Om Benzara Gende Hum Hum Pi Om Ruban Benzara Hum Hum Pi Om Rasan Benzara Hum Hum Pi Om Sabar Shin Benzara Hum Hum Pi Om Dharma Dardum Benzara Hum Pi
To the mouth of my kind Guru, essence of all the Buddhas of the 3 times and 10 directions, Om Ahom. To the mouth of sovereign Vajradhara, Om. Of exalted Vajrayogini, Om Ahom. To the mouth of great Siddha Tilo Shersang, Om Ahom. To the mouth of learned Master Naropa, Om Ahom. To the mouth of Lojin Chogi Lodro, Om Ahom. To the mouth of Nila Dorje Gyaltsen, Om Ahom. To the mouth of Dabo Dawo Shono, Om Ahom. To the mouth of Bliss Gone Pagmo Drupa, Ba Om Ahong. To the mouth of the great Lord Drikung Ba Om Ahong. To the mouths of root and lineage lamas Om Ahong. To the mouths of Vajrayoginis, 5 Dakinis, and all the hosts of deities, of yidams, of 4 classes of Tantra Om Ahong. To the mouths of the forearm glorious wisdom protectors, and all the oceans of Samaya bound Dharma Palas through the offerings of gazing and smiling, holding hands, embracing and uniting as one empowerment is bestowed. May we now realize the intended meaning of the Tantra.
Om Sarvada Dangata Anuranganam Bendra Svabha Emagwam.
By meditating upon the state devoid of identity, meditation on the essence of the deity is achieved. This then fulfills a great offering and simultaneously achieves the realization of all the Buddhas. Om homage to you, Bhagavati Vajravarahi, Arya Mother of the 3 worlds, by others you're unassailed. Great majesty of awareness, for all ghosts you incite fear, casting down in all directions. You are the great Vajra Queen, undefeated lady of the Vajra seat. You can't be beat. Your powerful eyes roam about, even poison you dry up. Fearsome, terrifying goddess, the lady who shows her fangs. You shock, slay, and fully cleave, and over them you reign supreme. Fully triumphant one, you stun, paralyze, and stupefy. Homage to you, Varahi, great yogini, queen of desire. Clearly I appear in the form of Vajrayogini at my navel, in a fire-red Dharmodaya ring is a red lotus, and at its hub a sun mandala with a red bomb, encircled by the mantra garland, which rotates to the left while its seat and seed syllable remain unmoved, as it circles with great force and speed. Light rays stream out, making offerings to the noble ones and purify the obscurations of wandering beings. The light gathers back and then dissolves again into the mantra garland, causing the bliss emptiness to blaze. Om, 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 Sarvam Buddha-Rakiniye Vajravananiye Vajraberozaniye.
Sarvam Buddha-Rakiniye Vajravananiye Sarvam Buddha-Rakiniye Vajravananiye Sarvam Buddha-Rakiniye Sarvam Buddha-Rakiniye Vajravananiye Sarvam Buddha-Rakiniye Sarvam Sarvam Buddha Kine Banzavanane Asavam Buddha Kine Sarvam Buddha Kine Banzavanane Vajrayogini Sarvam Buddha Kine
Zoha Om Om Sarvam Buddha Dakine Vajravanane Vajraberotane Hong Ong Ong Be 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 Zoha Om 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 Sarvam Buddha Dakine Vajravanane Vajraberotane Hong Ong Ong Be 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 Zoha Om 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 Sarvam Buddha Dakine Vajravananiye Vajraberotaneye Hong Ong Ong Be 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 Zoha No Mom Sarva Buddha Dakineye Vajravananiye Vajraberotaneye Hong Ong Ong Be 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 Zoha No Mom Sarva Buddha Dakineye Vajravananiye Vajraberotaneye Hong Ong Ong Be 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 Zoha Om Sarva Buddha Dakineye Vajravananiye Vajraberotaneye Hong Ong Ong Be 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 Zoha Om Sarva Buddha Dakineye Vajravananiye Vajraberotaneye Hong Ong Ong Be 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 Zoha Om Sarva Buddha Dakineye Vajravananiye Vajraberotaneye Hong Ong Ong Be 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 Zoha
Sarvam Buddha
Dakineye Vajravananiye
다 가르장한테 가서 쇼랑 교류가 되리마 새로 안으로 낚시 되리.
So we pick up where we left off yesterday on page 15 with then beginning the generation stage.
tene tangarang so di om so baba shuda sarva dharma so baba shuda da ti nga di jitang khazang zhi jia sarwa wa tian du da zuo de ti gang ta da jiu wo de qi song ye qi yu de qi song ye qi yu jie yu ra de pa ta ma bi de pa ta ba be xia da lu yu na de ta ma ba ta ba qiu tam ji rang xin nang ba ta ba da tang da de ti na la nga wo shi wa这几天呢，我们有班长学的，现在班长现在咱都接那班他把球他们都接那班他了，我是我班长学的，是吧？但是班长学的了，我这几块呢，我这他班长里面都接在这，让一点班长里面几块了噻，我这当南这边现在，他们去对俺的班他吧，南这边我那他们被俺班他俺有了，我这他把东班你上去，南班他被俺家的，那个是我们yoga学的是吧？的嘛，那他研究了哇，研究了用是他吧的，他从这上去吧，他没去，他也用是他吧的，然后就我是吧，东西去了，他东把你一些就他们去他上写了没呗，这研究了可能是他呗，我这个俺家那个去过了也是。
So, we have these three mantras, and first is the Swabhava mantra, which actually we already explained yesterday and in general has been explained many times. But essentially, the meaning is that we are primarily purifying the fixation of like ordinary fixation to appearances or outer objects as being ordinary with this mantra. So it's essentially the meaning is the nature of all phenomena is completely pure, and I am also that nature. And then the next mantra, which is Vajra, Om Vajra Shuddha Sarva Dharma Vajra Shuddhoham. So Vajra is Vajra, and so it's the same thing, really, the same meaning, the meaning of emptiness. All phenomena is the Vajra nature of emptiness, but primarily, whereas above, the Swabhava mantra is mainly focused on, or it has the function of purifying outer objects, then this has the function of purifying the inner mind, or sort of establishing the empty essence of awareness. And whereas the Swabhava mantra also is connected particularly with purification of the body, here the Vajra, Om Vajra, Swabhava, or Shuddha Sarva, is connected with the purification of speech. So when we say purification, the empty essence of speech is established, whereas with the Swabhava mantra, the empty essence of body is established. And then Om Yoga Shuddha Sarva Dharma, Yoga Shuddhoham, is again, the similar in meaning. The yoga or the practice is the nature of complete purity, and so this is referring to the purity, the empty essence and purity of subject-object duality. So it includes both the outer objects and the inwardly apprehending mind together, and this primarily purifies the mind, establishing the empty essence of the mind, the empty primordial awareness that is the union of method and wisdom.
在这几趟去呢，在一些说呢，说呀，是吧？东年的公园很马上问啥是吧？他这江边写节有吧？江西西头去，他来去弄有了来去往给，然后去弄什么有了然后，然后去弄什么就吧，他吧，人品高呢，这西有些盘就呀，西口些了，就特别，来用往但是往马大呗，七八有了。七万种啊，挺一盘。
七万，本来700几。
那来的用往七送的7亚有了，俺那说，马大万7万有了，7万这些种地，那种样盘了。来同时一些对吧的，懂吧？一些肯定把小吧，这种地这是，这江这这看这个是江没这种这么，就做了人品那叫工不到的，这农村我们出图片， 농심 농마스 투비야 농심도 오마스 투비야 어제 시키남지 어세스토 시키남지 어세스 모두 카르토비야 어때 진료요레스는 다도 어때 다바 이시 그거 줘봐 집에 장터 그래스 다바 이시 그거 줘도비야 맞을 장터 그래스 장 그래스
Shortu.
장으로 하지 람 장으로
So the kerem,
다지는 유야로 하는 말아. 담보대다. 다서 이 돈이 대장원들이 라페크 농심도 과정 랍송.
So what this is then is the accumulation. We have the two accumulations of merit and wisdom. And so this is the accumulation of wisdom. And in particular, through this, there is like the purification of the karmic winds. And this is like also then as we move into the generation stage, because what is occurring also through the generation stage is that the course winds are kind of gradually settling and actually eventually then they enter into the central channel and then there's the shining forth of clear light luminosity, and this purifies the process of like the impure process of death, so that the union of bliss and emptiness, the wisdom, the meditative absorption within the wisdom that is the union of bliss and emptiness is achieved. And so if the winds enter the central channel through this, then at the time of death, then there is the ability for one to realize the clear light luminosity when it shines forth and to attain liberation within that recognition. And so this is purifying, this process is purifying the primordial wisdom body, accomplishing the primordial wisdom awareness form, if you will, which is the generation stage. So then we have the beginning of the generation stage where we say, through reciting these mantras, all phenomena subsumed within subject, object, dualistic grasping become transformed into emptiness. So we explain that, in detail, the meaning of that. And then we have the arising of the generation stage. So it says by reciting Hong Hong, then from within that state, and then there comes the different layers of protection, the Vajra ground, the Vajra fence, the Vajra tent, the Vajra canopy, webs of arrows, and outside the scope of that, wisdom, flames, so fire, and inside then the protection sphere, from the syllable A, there arises a Dharmadaya. And so the Dharmadaya, he said there's some, different ideas, it sounds like, about how the Dharmadaya might appear. But in his opinion, it's really just like what we have in this image here. He thinks, probably in our tradition, it is just like this, with her as the base that she stands upon with the three-dimensional kind of point, thrust downward. And then the base on top. Tama bayina.
Tama bayina meta ba chen tobya. Deng tsu da mi ba do tobya. Wa zhen ambo ra deng la pyo ra ta yang do den. Ra tsu ina kunde ro nyum ya. Wa de de pen to yo res.
Dutro rang.
To da ti to so wa xi.
So we have also, as part of the protection sphere, which somebody brought up the other day in the questions, there's also the presence of the 8 charnel grounds. And what these 8 charnel grounds represent, they have this benefit, this effect in meditating upon them for someone of kind of an ordinary being, an ordinary person, or of kind of lesser capacity. They encourage or they inspire a reflection or understanding upon impermanence. For middling capacity, they inspire the recognition of the selfless nature, non-self. And for one of highest capacity, they inspire the equal taste of samsara and nirvana. So say the Nika.
No, say towards travel, what is it? Denkaya Chile. Denkaya Chile, what the Cheva, then but in a Chegala, Namara, what that they don't need social status, don't want it. Chuji, that Jonian, because you're right. But then it got not so be mandavado, got that. What then not so be mandava, and davado. When you come at it, tell you that, rock and malatine, the Yoruba. Or the road, that's a dami, and if you said it, dami by your. And tell me, Kashin road, Sunzik to Ma.
Kashigari?
That Kashin can also Zik to Pat Ma, Shabio, so we think we want him as a varwa. That dami is in a road dami, Damina, Suzini, you are. The Zipan on that.
So the Dharmadaya, so as it goes, it's 3-dimensional, and it becomes, it's vast or spacious on the top, and then it goes into a fine point. And so that fine point represents both, not remaining in existence, so overcoming cyclic existence, the 3 realms of samsara, but also not abandoning sentient beings. So transcending the extremes of existence and peace. And then from the point, it goes upward and it becomes more, it becomes wide and spacious. And so it is blue on the outside, red on the inside, and it has this vast expansive base. And so this Chudrong, or Dharmadaya, reality source, represents the nature of emptiness. And then as it goes on, and it says, in the center of this vast expansive base, from the letter Pam, a lotus manifests of multiple colors, and then from A, a full moon, and from Ram, a sun, and from above flattened Bamchin. So Bamchin is the corpse. Appears my own mind, and so forth. So the corpse here represents non-self, but some say that the corpse represents the freedom from a realization of non-duality, or freedom from subject-object dualistic fixation. But in his opinion, actually, it's non-self, because if there's the understanding of the selfless nature, non-self, myself, then there's no subject-object dualistic fixation.
다지 지트네 다들이 마송도 다지 당다도 전에 좀 만들어 공도 말모 시제 차니요라 시제 차니 대 샤니요라 대 루젠트서 요바지 어ත네 나타 파게 요바 차이 트고도 용토차 송데레 주모 카잠카요레 다는 수는 가서 세보 공부쇼리 다 세보서 공부를 세와스라고 하는 세와스 我是话这开始工作，强生间先路头查了没？要过光顾的哇。这光呢，他呢，他的光顾就咱们干里卡不，咱们把那个下那下里要二节嘛，他话要不大。这里没做嘛，他说先忙查的，我们那下来做大。我这就咱们那哎，我呢嘛下话是咱们大都他要不大嘛，他就咱们那的说绿的光嘛。 med det som det sen man chala man så lugo så share det upp där. Det du känner det ser vad som kommer upp där och så där. Vad då känns det?
So then we build the form of the deity. So there's the light that streams out, sends offerings to the enlightened beings, makes offerings, returns, and then radiates out again and purifies all the obscurations of sentient beings. They all become the form of Vajrayogini, and then it comes back again into the bomb, and then we appear, instantaneously, our whole body arising in the form of Vajrayogini, red and color, clear yet empty, with all of the different ornaments and attributes, all of the hand implements, the positions of the arms and legs. So it's very important that we build or we gradually develop a really clear visualization of the deity. And this is not easy. So it's not so easy to just visualize all of the aspects of the visualization. So he said, one really effective thing to do is to look at the image of a deity as you're meditating, to sometimes rest your gaze on the image of the deity and kind of study it and become clear with all of the different aspects, the different attributes of the deity's form, and then close your eyes for a little bit and let it appear in your mind's eye. And then as it gets maybe a little bit fuzzy, open your eyes again and then, allow yourself to just rest on the image and clarify the, details of the visualization, and then close your eyes again. Oh, sorry, yes. So the par tawe Parla tawe So the way that you can look at it is that you can kind of start from... Yeah. So you can start from the head and then slowly go down the body. So, focusing, one by one on the different aspects. And then you can also start again from the bottom and then go up slowly to the top as you study the image, and then close your eyes and meditate in that way.
근데 다 지단 도전에 좀 마시지 여러 추 탐지 로제 도배 도파 로제스 로제 도바 뇽몽베 도파 연시와 뇽몽 도파 연시 자베 시데 초창제 마요레스 초 자베 시제 여러 초와의 차관인 제들라 촌좀라고 초와메
치와지 얼가리 마리
자베 시뭐 동바제 여러 자베 시라고学你种有话这边写的出墙的嘛他不可能是就他们逻辑吧用我们都会认识吧这些出墙的吧但现在跑些这有了就可就完没吧那他也是跑些就可就完没吧从学的是那他也但是他把是话他把是老son那他别从哪的说这一些人是吧身边同志吧，我这7斤7家不着的，7个也咱们7个也着的对吧？这那最终现在这样说，对些这呢就让7万些这点，
对
些，这万怕就要7万些这点，这对些这可以些学嘛，但对些些呢，对吧？ 녀몬도 유스 녀몬도 유스야 가르스는 당가 좀 냠나치 되도 삼사 다 녀몬의 제용도 돼 같이 당주와 그 녀몬도 유스 근데 풍보도 유스인데 풍보는 알아서 gen지 배치 보여요 근데 gen지 시도다 삼상 가서 제 스칼리디스가 시도만 하냐나 어때 풍보는 유스 삼상 장신도 삼상 자신도 삼상 독신도 양다 냠나야 같아 시스템이다 네트워크 제 풍보도 유스 我真的还会读些，那他研究是经常白忙活，他这家那是怎么还会读的？真的还会读起。但其他读些那俺在这里不嘛，到娘俩些推说推没吧，谁去嘛当的嘞？娘俩钱多了，现在谁去嘛当的嘞？我听这个我在读些是，我真的读些吧，真的就像七八些这多的也是。我真的他是从头就要掐你有的是。我真的。 다 시라 송투유야.
다 시라 가레리?
송투유가.
가레 이니양
차니 시라.
차니.
차니. 다 도바진도 신농야. 최고 내를 차를 그래서. 나 남도 미베 세로들의 송지. 도착이 요래서 차용나. 어떤 야해가 비비스도 가장 카트 요래서. 어떤 동아 답에 송지 링에 도감도 多看嘛，有的是来啊，从我的心中些，但心中啊，其实有我的南方的，但是说，我是说他的通通啊去。
心中啊去，是呀，
但是现在头发啊去了呢，我这些从学的也是，他在把拉上呢。
So, so when we're practicing the generation stage, it's very important to have these three aspects of, very clear visualization, the support of divine pride, and the recollection of purity. So the recollection of purity comes from knowing the symbolic meaning of all the attributes of the deity's form. Okay. So her first, she has, two faces. So the first face, the main face.
这些抽象的嘛，是吧？抽完效果。我都写这边写的就他们写弱的，用我们都会印出来写送的。
So her main face or her single face represents the equal nature, the one taste of all phenomena, and afflictive emotions liberated within space. And likewise, her main face is semi-wrathful in its countenance, so it's semi-wrathful. It's wrathful and passionate, a sort of a mix of passion and wrath. And then her second face, which is the sow's head, the sow's face, represents the unchanging or the changeless Dharmakaya. And so these again are the different attributes, the purity of the symbolism of all of the different aspects of the visualization. And so her hair is bound, half of her hair is bound in a top knot, and the other half is freely hanging. Mare de utra.
我这在去嘛做的了吧？这个嘛力，这个也当的了吧？这一些人时间呢，身边同这样。
So this represents the half that is on her head, represents the Dharma Dhatu of primordial wisdom, or the liberation of the Dharma Dhatu, and within the Dharma Dhatu, and the half that is hanging loose represents accomplishing the benefit of beings. And her three eyes represent seeing into the three times. The 4 fangs represent the subjugation of the 4 maras. So the 4 maras are the maras of afflictive emotions. It's the first. So for instance, when we're practicing, sometimes we have strong afflictions arise, and if we get caught in those afflictions, our practice can actually become non-virtue if we aren't able to recognize and correct it. Secondly, there is the Mara of the aggregates. And so this is, we have such fixation based on the aggregates. And so sometimes this creates an obstacle to our practice. For instance, we have a difficult time sitting. We get kind of uncomfortable in our seat. We have aches and pains. We feel like it's too cold or it's too hot. And so we become agitated and it becomes difficult to practice. And then there is the Mara of the son of the gods, which is essentially distraction. And so these days there are so many sources of distraction, especially with all of our modern devices, internet, etc. These things can really create a great obstacle to our practice. And then fourth is the Mara of the Lord of Death. And so this also creates, if the Lord of Death comes soon, then it can interrupt the continuity of our practice. We want to have a long life so that we can continue to practice. So this then, is the Mara of the Lord of Death. And so her 2 arms represent the union of method and wisdom. And she's holding aloft in her hand a drikok. And this represents cutting through discursive thought or conceptualization. And in her other hand, she's holding a skull cup filled with blood. Dinidi tuta kari gitundare?
Dopame sero le arimate, dove si.
Tubame, dinidi go kari gitung.
Chego te dupaje ma si no ya.
Dupachin.
Dupaje na be do be do ya the ras.
Okay, actually,
dupaje la.
yeah, so I kind of got it reversed. I'm sorry, but so in her right hand, she's holding the drikok, which is cutting through or sort of liberating those really negative, obstructing forces. And in her left hand, she's holding a skull cup filled with blood. And this represents the liberation or overcoming the mind, all of the discursive thoughts or the mind of conceptualization. And in the crook of her left arm is Katvanga. And so this Katvanga represents the hidden Heruka. I have it. Do I? Yeah. And then her crown ornament, she has a crown of 5 dried skulls, which represent the 5 wisdoms of the 5 Buddha families, and then she's wearing a garland of 50 freshly severed heads, which represents cutting at the root the 51 mental arisings.
다 저던 남도 심정업 지로 남도서 다들 남도야 지용도 한국 시선 파타선 거는 거세 남도고야 뭐 시선 파타선 되는 소셔서와
What's that? Mentality? The 51 mentalities? And so then getting tired. So then so the heads, the severed heads, represent the cutting through or the cutting through of conceptualization or concepts, because once you cut a head, it's no longer, there's no functionality there. It's severed at the root, and so that's what it means. Is the full purification of these 51 mentalities or mental arisings.
dine da parchi chu so ya rube jincha tanga da bro rube jincha nga 我真的敲在俺了，老是被敲在俺的了，我在如今俺的古生那里跑进来了吧？我真的金班上送学生了金班，我真的头没些敲到有了，我真的出钱，那送学生了吧？
Shabdo Sutrim.
敲到，头没些那他敲到真送了吧？我那家是那件有了，那么久件。
Na.
그 소바지. 어떤 집어를 그 요라. 집어를 배제하지. 사람들이 내려진도 내려 배제 요사 자야 요사 들이 어때? 가서 소주 요라. 누른다고 요라. 근데 소주지. 그 가라스 남대지. 근데 나 야는 태전이지 요라. 내가 태전 요 말, 용 시라고 하지 그랬어. 용 코로나 시라고 하지 근데 대고 말에 시라고 하지 마소.
Kungta Gari Shira Brangine?
용 뭐나 시라고 하지 그랬어. 야는 태전한테 시라고 송쇼래. 용라 태전한테 요 말에 도저히 방금 코로나 시라고 하지 그랬어. 태전한테 뭐 말했어. 어때 시라고 하지 마지.
So she has all of the 5. So often we talk about like the 6 bone ornaments. Here in the case of the Dakini, there are the 5 bone ornaments. So the 5 bone ornaments, but actually 6, represent the 6 perfections because she's the 6th. But then there are the 5. So the ornaments of the anklets and bracelets represent the perfection or paramita of ethical discipline. The earrings represent patience. The crown ornament of the bones or these. The tuba rang yosamarwa the otla che yurebe. So kind of like the bones that are in kind of attached to or part of the crown of 5 dried skulls with the jewels. These represent the perfection or paramita of diligence. Oh, that's all. So at the very tip, so we actually don't have this represented in the image that we have. It's not clear. But so she has, for instance, like he just showed me on his iPad. She has a top knot and a jewel, like the principal jewel there with the top knot. And at the top, there's kind of like a little garland of bones. Thank you. And so this is what is representing then the paramita of diligence. And then her skirt, her belt, her bone belt or skirt represents the paramita of concentration, meditative concentration. And then she herself is being the yum is the paramita of wisdom. So the reason why she has 5 bone ornaments and instead of 6, the Heruka has 6, the wrathful or the Yab deities have 6 bone ornaments because they have the addition of ash. Charnel ground ash, but she doesn't have charnel ground ash. So she's the 6th perfection herself, which is the perfection of wisdom.
말에 쿠르베 차동시야 다베 대한 용몬베 문바 전주면 전주에 대한 와 와드네 다 용몬 똑바도 봤어 이토비아 라오메 와든 도르드나다 나초 해고 주마다고 도공고를 주마다고 라지 마로 동초 와드스
So she's standing on a multicolored lotus. So this lotus represents not being stained or being undefiled by the faults of samsara. And then the moon disk represents the cooling of the heat of the afflictions, and the sun disk represents the clearing away of the darkness of ignorance, or the illuminating the darkness of ignorance. The ring of fire represents the burning away the afflictions. And so in this way, we clearly meditate on all of these different aspects of the deity's form, clearly, vividly, understanding their pure nature, and having the visualization possess this quality of being illusory and empty of substantial nature. Yini the kongso test chepar yujurwa the kongso yang the penaye chatsang makumne tesa dindradawo rebe. Sha. That's all. So then we have the donning of the armor. And so with each of these syllables, there arises in each of the places that are mentioned the dakinis, the deities, that are different colors, but they're identical to Vajrayogini. They have the same hand implements and so forth. And I asked him because I sort of understood that the one difference is that their right leg isn't completely bent up, but sort of partially bent, like standing partially bent and the left extended. But he said sometimes, like for instance in Chakra Samvara, that's how the dakinis appear. So he said it kind of can be either way. Like it doesn't really matter. You can visualize them being exactly identical to Vajrayogini, or with the two legs, the leg not completely bent up, perhaps slightly bent. But in any case, they are just as they describe here and the same in their attributes as Vajrayogini. But if it's difficult to visualize the dakinis, you can also just visualize the syllables, with their respective colors in the different places.
대 종 알레깔레 말고 세도와 어때네 대 지파리 다 나게 다 나게 좀 초네도 이제这建厂的这有了，这大过里，我这都在那让这边先，这让这边不错呢，俺这把他呢，俺这女排当的嘛，我这有把些呢，从但是上去从的也没把钱呢，300万套吧。ทุกการเนี่ยที่ช่างเชื่อเสียมแต่ทุกช่างเชื่อเสียมจีจูพาสามด้วยช่างเชื่อเสียจีจูพาเนี่ยแต่เนี่ยร่างแค่นี้ขาดเทียมเดี๋ยวต้อง有些จีเนี่ยทุกแต่ที่แย่ไม่บ้าเชื่อเชื่อวางสารวะว่าแต่ที่ดูได้เสียนี่ก็เชื่อ有些จีสลับด้วยว่าแต่นี่สมัยบ้านน้ำแต่ยังไงชีดีนะได้ชาวจะมาต้องได้สิ่งว่าเราจะนั่งได้ชาวจะ
So then we visualize in our navel the red Dharmodaya with the Hri in the center. Light streams out to all the 10 directions and invites once again all of the victors, the objects of refuge, and their retinues, inviting all in the form of Vajrayoginis. And we make the and when we say Bajra Samadza, this is like an expression that it invokes invitation. So it's the kind of words of invitation. And then we make offerings. So here he explained the other day the offerings, Om and Vajra. Bajra is Vajra. Varahi. Sapariwara means together with your retinue, and then each of the offerings, and Pratishta means like please partake, Pratishta Soha, please enjoy, please partake of these. And then we have empowerment. So from all of their bodies, limitless forms emanate, and this dissolves into my crown and generates energy and power in my body. So this is the empowerment of the body. So through this, the obscurations of the body are purified. You receive the blessings of enlightened form, and sort of plant the seed or manifest through this the Nirmanakaya. And then the same with his speech. So with, from their speech or from their throat centers, red Ali Kali, which are the Sanskrit vowels and consonants, stream out and are absorbed into our throat, generating energy and power in our speech. And so this purifies the obscurations of speech and brings the blessing of enlightened speech. And brings the fruition of the Sambhogakaya. So this is the secret empowerment. So the first is the base empowerment, then the secret empowerment, and then the wisdom awareness empowerment, which is then from their hearts, a stream of bodhicitta descends and enters our hearts, and as it does, then this causes the union, the primordial wisdom that is the union of bliss and emptiness to arise. And so then this again becomes the wisdom awareness empowerment and brings the fruition, purifies the obscurations of the mind and brings the fruition of the Dharmakaya.
Then za hong ba hong se do. Za hong ba sen na dar yi xie ba so jian chang bi cha le da. Ba za hong se na tam se ba da yi xie ba ni bo tian le ba. Ba se na de ne yi xie ba tam se ne bo yer mi ba ba chue le chue xia ba na yi ji ba cha so ne. Ho se na da yi xie ba de so ju le dian ba xiu so ne. Yi xie ba de tam se ba dian ba xiu so ne de la. 네 호세라와. 그래다 옴 요가 쇼다 서바단마 요가 쇼도 세다 가서 내절 용스타바. 그러와. 다 지단 내절 용스타바. 군도 없지마다. 군도 없지마다. 파타소네. 동남 지바미 파타소. 달마세나 추어
kunzo 옴 요가 데
nenjor thaba dani rwa te khar sen gunzob juma dauk dauk la pa tha son la nenjor son tha de rwa tha son ti 동담 jiba me ga 동담 ji mi jiba me ba tha ba khar tha yor sen na rwa kha tha sen na sarva dharma sindo sarva dharma chu tamchi khar sen phungbo kam ji ji chama deube chu tamchi pa tha
Pumbo kam chinji.
the chotamchi pa, dubi chotamchi. Jeta yorsena, shudo sarva, shudo hans, namdo shudo hans, shera da, ningje yermi ba, chancho sembi rangi, ta bin nejor nga was,
Shera
ningje,
yerme.
chancho sem, yermi be chancho sembi, rangi, ta ba nga was. Raison? That is rich was that.
So then we have this. So the Samaya being and the wisdom being merge and become non-dual, and then we have the recitation of Za Hung Bam Ho. So Za is kind of like this. The pulling or the summoning, and Hung is when the Samaya being then dissolves, or the wisdom being dissolves or merges with the Samaya being, and then Bam is when they really like become completely indivisible, like water mixing with water, they become one. And then Ho means that like the stability, it establishes the stability of that union, the indivisible union of the Samaya and the wisdom being. And so then we have Om Yoga Shuddha Sarva Yoga Shuddho Hung. So again, this is the complete purity, establishing the complete purity of the practice of the yoga of the union. And so the all phenomena, what is contained within this is that the relative, the nature of illusory relative phenomena becomes the expression of the deity. So all appearances, all illusory phenomena is understood or seen, realized to be the pure nature, the pure display of the deity, which is ultimately, from the perspective of the ultimate truth, is the unborn nature. So Om Yoga Shuddha Sarva Dharma. So Sarva Dharma, like all Dharma. So what has this pure nature? All Dharma, all phenomena. And that means the aggregates, the elements, the sense spheres or ayatanas. So all the sense objects, the sources of the senses themselves. So all phenomena that is experienced is of this nature. And then so Shuddho Hung is referring to or meaning that the indivisibility of wisdom and great compassion, which is bodhicitta, the essence of bodhicitta, is this completely pure essence, is my true nature. So I am that nature of the of bodhicitta, which is the indivisibility of wisdom and emptiness.
that person that ngajarsi go tigana. Rando Japan one is something ngajarsi ne. ngajarsi na ne. On the time na yet part jang to ya pekere. Tari o da bian gum da zewa ta ba. Temba se na ngajar temba se ngajar te yabo kadu na ko da la is something. Sewo gum tom ne yabo kaji zewo hira gum ma to na ngajar temba te on kechin bo yures.
So this is the divine pride, establishing the divine pride here. So we went through, again, we mentioned, the three aspects of the generation stage, which are so important: clarity, purity, and divine pride. So the clarity occurs when we're building the visualization. The purity, likewise, in reflecting on the purity, he just went through that, the purity of the symbolic meaning of the deity's form, and then establishing the divine pride, which occurs here. So this is very important. If we can't really if we can't maintain a clear visualization, then it's important to rely on the support of divine pride. So it's okay, basically, if we can't really get our visualization clear, if we have this sense of confidence as ourselves, as the nature of the deity. Wait, so Dimcho Mechu Pagmo. So then we have here then the empowerment. So the empowerment here is the empowerment that is bestowed with the vase water. So it's primarily the vase empowerment. So actually with the generation stage, often it's just the vase empowerment that is received because this is the empowerment of the body. And as we're practicing the generation stage, then it's purifying the body and kind of it's purifying the process of the generation stage. So however, here actually, we have many stages of empowerment. Just before he explained the other empowerment where we have body, speech, and mind. And then also with the offerings, these are also empowerments. So with the outer offering, we receive all 4 empowerments. So the outer offering is like the vase empowerment. The inner offering becomes the secret empowerment. The secret offering becomes the wisdom awareness empowerment, and the offering of suchness becomes the word empowerment. So in that way, we also receive the 4 empowerments. But here, it's just the vase empowerment. We're receiving empowerment with the water, the divine water, which enters our crown, fills our body, and overflows, forming the crown ornament of Akshobhya. So there was this question about Akshobhya versus Vajrayogini. So the lord of the family for Chakrasambhara is Akshobhya. And Pagmo, or Varahi, is indivisible from Chakrasambhara. So they're the same family. They're the same Buddha family. And so that, so really, actually, if Chakrasambhara is Akshobhya, then Vajravarahi likewise is Akshobhya. But sometimes it appears the way that it is written is that Chakrasambhara's crown ornament is Akshobhya and Varahi's crown ornament is Vairochana. And the reason for this is because it represents the pure nature of form, the aggregate of form, because through, Vajravarahi is the purification of the aggregate of form. So she's, appearing in form. This is the form, the emptied essence, with empty essence. So the purification of the aggregate of form, and that's why she has the Vairochana. Yeah. Yeah, because also when we talk about the purity of the 5 aggregates, the aggregate of form is Vairochana. So Gongda Yangchar Susong Yore? Gyawaramboje.
Lamchen Gyawaramboje.
Lamchen Gyawaramboje. Oh, Lamchen Gyawaramboje. Yeah. Ngumachi song ta ya botunginda.
Tachi, then song hore, certain name Bazayada, Takatanga to this in particular Sara. The Ma Durem Chi do this, that Jerem Tia, Aunt Jerem Shem and Rode, Ma Durem Chichore. Or the Durem Chizari, yes, I had down that Jolam Gante, had down with Hores. Or the 3 Mars on the Torma and knocked on Majera. Don't Hamas and Lando. Jinko Clara Pugo, Jobat, Jinko Clara Pugo. Or the Torchima said, Jinko Tawa, Mamani, on the Euro, Sama Jinko Tawa, Maman, Zol Papune, the Mombala, the Tatanga Ropadis, Nemlachi, Ropaji, Mombala, Jinko Jake and drop to ya. The Luchi, and then La Panchobatin, Zonam Sogares.
La Pachuba.
Zonam Sogares, or the Tidan La Pala Juangati, on Juan Juanga, don't Yamati Santo Sarva, the latter of Chubacura, the Tatanga Cochilata Rindozo, or the cheat and so on, Zonam Sozayashi. What in that Monam Drahit or somebody, what the sheet that is some sense at it.
So he just kind of went through, thank you, okay. He went through very quickly, like the whole rest of sadhana, because we don't have much time left, but in any case, so that and we still need to do some mantra recitation. So then we have the praise to Vajravarahi, which is a really powerful praise that comes from the Ju Rang. So this praise comes directly from the Tantras, and in fact he said really the vast majority of this text and really all versions of Vajravarahi are primarily come originally or from the original Tantras, except for like a few parts here and there, like the blessing of the nectar and so forth. There are some things that came a little bit later, or that came later, but most of the content of these texts really comes directly from the Buddha, from the Tantras themselves. And so this and praise, and there are the two praises actually, one of Chakrasamvara Yavyum and Vajrayogini. But so Lamchen Gyalpo Rinpoche tells a story of a yogi who was seated upon a big rock.
도 방어제랑 도 침바제가 네 동화 사람이 봤다.
Do Pagmo?
도 파원세나 파원센도 침보라.
Oh, okay. So he was seated on like a big boulder, and he was reciting, this praise. He recited this praise, and then when he left, and then he left, and then all of these like spirits and non-human entities started circumambulating the boulder. So they circumambulated the boulder and they made prostrations. So this just speaks to like the energy and power of this praise. And so then we do the visualization of the mantra recitation. So that is to like clearly visualize, how we're visualizing the seed syllable, the mantra garland, circling, and then as we do the recitation of the mantra, this is primarily where our focus can lie, is on this visualization of the mantra, the seed syllable, and the mantra garland, as it's described here. And then following the recitation, then there's the dissolution. And so we rest in unelaborated awareness when we do the dissolution, and then we arise again in the form of the deity. And kind of also this is maintained also then when you get up and it's carried into your path of activity. So then we have the inner offering. So the inner offering is, or the offering that is made, the torma, the inner torma, which is made to the deity and the mandala of deities. And that's followed by the hand offering and the
torchima.
Torchema,
yeah.
Torchema senati la dang.
Tor nama de la puso. Torchima de chilo pu ni la ba ta.
Oh, di ni di o la sumiro wa. Di so
la don ma de la so. Do it.
De si de na song.
Ja, ta chi pa.
Ni yang dang po de na song. Oh, chi sumio ma re. Sumiro wa.
Ja, dan du.
Gari di ni gari.
Torchima do it.
Torchima do yin yang o la do song.
La de ti la torchima na ma nyam la yin ti na ta chi ma. Chi pa ma do ta.
Yeah. So then there's also the concluding offering, and I forget how these things were translated, but the final torma offering, which is made.
Karsen torchima na ma len dai cho ran len dai na li ma la ba.
Galela? Len.
담보도 남아요. 되게 torchima yo, 되게 락주 yo, 되게 초요. 되게 나 임마.
Lasso. Yeah, didn't go to so this is the torma offering to the worldly entities, and so this is done, at the conclusion, which is on page 31, and when we make this offering, or 33, depending on what text you have. We have a couple of different versions of text. 마음바 기억을 책 뒤
다다 진코 다와 만황라 텔라 푸효라 도치마세나 어때 푸효도 전에 텔푸는 가서 제 다다네 가서 가서 냠나치 가서 로가 저기 치료치 마음바라 대 진코 제는 롭트야.
Okay. And so what we're doing when we may offer this torma is we're connecting with these beings and saying, help us out temporarily, assist us and help us. And then in the future, we can enter into the same mandala together. We can practice in the same mandala together. But now temporarily, assist us and be of help to us on our path of practice, our path of activity. And then then we have the hand offering. And so this is also a method of purifying or gathering the accumulations, and also, what the deities that are appearing on our hand are the deities of the 5 elements, the same deities that we are visualizing when we practice the Vajra armor. And so this then becomes a mandala, an entire mandala on our hand. And then we're making offerings. We are offering to these deities that are the elements. So it's on the hand because those represent in the body all of the elements, the 5 elements that are also there, the elements of the body. And through this, then it becomes an accumulation of merit. And then we do the sok, which is also an accumulation of merit. So the hand offering can also then be offered so the tormas that are used, the little tormas that are used for the hand offering, they can then be added to the sok. They contain blessing, and it's said that if you eat them, then you receive siddhi. But he said, that being said, sometimes they're just made with water and sampa, so they're not very tasty. So sometimes it's kind of hard to eat them. So in that case, you don't have to eat them. You can collect them and then later offer them in a fire puja during the fire puja to the fire. So of course right now it's not so difficult. We're just doing a few days, but if you're in retreat for many months, that becomes like eating a lot of little hand tormas. So in that case also you accumulate a lot and then you can offer them in the fire puja. But the sok, then this is followed by the sok, which is accumulating merit, and in particular repairing samayas. So mending broken or declined samaya this occurs through the sok. And so then we have, the concluding prayers. So prayer and praise to Vajravarahi. And then at the very end is the Chashipa, which is the prayer for auspiciousness, which is, essentially setting or creating the auspicious interdependent conditions for auspiciousness.
Okay.
So this is the this just concludes the teachings, because we just have had a short period since we've mostly been focusing on the practice. It's so important to practice, and even maybe more important. So he just wanted to give a little bit of time, for instruction, but for us mainly to focus on practicing together. So we'll just do about 5 minutes or so of the mantra accumulation. Sarva Buddha Daki
Sarvam Buddha Bamle Wandro no yu water shu Ran lu la tian yang do me yu O yu bam dian bam ye ko wang go Anda se ti le anda la dun de Da wo xie dong ba ni zhe.
From the bomb light radiates and the outer world and contents melt to light, which is absorbed into my body. Dissolve from the bottom and top into light, which dissolves into bomb. The body of the bomb then dissolves into its head and its crescent moon, then into the Tigle and Nada, which becomes luminous emptiness.
La ya ran yin dur je da wu gu xie jie xia ni nian ju ma ru xie.
Once again, clearly with one face and two arms in the illusion-like form of Vajrayogini arise.
Wong can dra ro he hong pi Om sa ba wa shu da sar wa dharma sa ba wa shu do ha dong be nga le long me do di de ben da chi kara na ma na ma be ra shu ma le de se ma na gu ta ha ta le sha mian se long yo me bra ze na shu shen ko Andre son wo jie xie de zhe zhe tam ye me de zhe jian su zhe pian men dong zhong ga den zi这是退的，月月当夜当夜去嘛，那日嘛日要这样去说，人眼看着马绿见着 ne samaya sadam dreshaye wo ben za arale hong za wo ben za samaya sadam dreshaye wo ben za arale hong za Kene samaya sadam dreshaye wo na ja wo de se chang de so wa shu Om Guru Deva Sarvam Buddham Jakin Sabare Vare Edam Balinda Kakahe Kahe Om Guru Deva Jakin Sabare Vare Edam Balinda Kakahe Kahe Om Guru Deva Sarvam Buddham Jakin Sabare Vare Edam Balinda Kakahe Kahe Om Sarvata Dhangata Banzavarahe Sabare Vare Argam Bade Buve Dube Alogen Gende Nebe De Nam do ma lu jum jur chen tu je chen bo nam ro ro ha sen chen je tong ze ba ne page 34, page 34, maybe 36, maybe some. O yere banza heruga samaya manu balaya banza heruga kino baradi chande do me baba sudoga Baba Swanurato me Baba Savakayo me Baba Sarvasidi me Bayeza Sarvagama Sutam Yam Guru Ha Bhagavan Saheruga Samaya Sadu Ahunki Yoga Shuddha Sarvadharma Yoga Shuddha page 35 Yeshe Bana Vrani La Tembara Shuro Om Ahu Om Ahu Om Ahu page 43 43 45 maybe Om Banza Vara He Argam dedication, unique. Merci les chants. Chants 27. 27 is yellow book. 27.
Glorious, holy, venerable, fresh, kind root and lineage lamas, divine assembly of yidams and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, heroes and heroines, yogini and assembly of dakinis, dwelling in the 10 directions, please heed me. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all sentient beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, pride, and jealousy not arise within my mind. May thoughts of fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, and through that may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. Even at death, may the torment of suffering not arise. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of the mind as such, and in the pervasive clarity of Dharmata. May I in any case gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo.
Okay, thank you. Lunch. 你给我看哪去？所以你办了，你都几块？
So,
啊。还对。
Tata?
8角钱呗。这个。
Okay, so we'll have a
去了我搞的好嘛嘞。长我们都。
So we can have a group photo. Anila was suggesting, that maybe we could do that now as we break outside. Drupal Rinpoche was like, it is a little cold, but it's snowing. All the better. It will be so pretty. No.
Yeah.
He said either way, whatever people want, that's fine. Let's do it.